All right, hi. Excuse me, Brian. Hi. If you're clicking on this video and you're not subscribed to me and you are not typically invested in like drama content, YouTuber gossip stuff, that's what this video is about. I just wanted to say that at the very beginning. You have been warned, but genuinely, you are more than welcome to stay here and watch. Just know that this has no real relevancy in the scope of life. So let's get straight into it. Number one, May 14th. Let's get into the timeline. May 14th, I received an email from a documentary crew, and I was at work. May 14th. Okay. May 14th, I got the email. My initial reaction was I was scared, panicked, anxiety, like a lot of stuff. And I was like, why would they want to make this? Like, everything has been said. Well, not everything's been said, but it's been covered a lot. I had all the same type of thoughts, questions that most of you would have. And I just thought, oh man, not again. Here we go again. 2026. It's happening all over again. And then I started to think to myself, well, um, the responsible thing to do would be to at least hear them out and see where their head's at, because every single time I have not been involved in someone telling the story, it's really done so much damage to me and my life. And so I thought I got to at least hear them out, see what it is that they're talking about. So I did. Sometime after the 14th, maybe a day or two later, we hopped on a call with a few of them, and the call went well. They told me on May 14th, 15th, 16th that I was the first person they reached out to. That's what they told me. And I thought to myself, my ego goes, I'm never considered first in this situation. Um, I can't believe someone would even value me like that, aside from Swoop. And the meeting went well. Nothing was on the record. The narrative has not been established, just conversations. But in talking with them, they started to paint a picture like what they were going to do was not just the stuff that has been covered, and it has been covered very well. They think there's a bigger conversation to be had. And I was intrigued with that idea and thought. A bigger conversation when it comes to fandoms, what they're capable of, the people within them, how it affects people through the lens of this fandom. And again, it was just an idea. Nothing is anything yet. And when we were talking, obviously you got brought up, Adam. And I said, oh, Adam and I are super close. When it comes to this stuff, Adam and I are super close. And hold off, let me reach out to him, and let it come from me, because I'm thinking I'm the first one. Adam and I are cool. I'm just gonna reach out and be like, hey, I've actually talked to them, and they don't sound, like a red flag yet. So I reached out to Adam and I DM'd him and explained things, and I was excited, wanted to see what he thought, and I didn't get a response from Adam. I didn't take offense to that. Adam's busy, Adam's popular, Adam has a lot of DMs. So when I had another meeting with them, again, we've had maybe three tops. The next meeting, they're like, what's up with Adam? I was like, he hadn't responded, but he's busy, I defended you, I talked you up. I was like, he's so all over the place with work. He's doing the thing right now. Sorry. Excuse me. My apologies. I should not have done that. It's not funny enough. And now I've lost my train of thought. And then the next thing I know, Adam, I see you post a live stream where you're talking about Rachel reacting to something. And in that live stream that you posted on your channel, you teased that someone had contacted you about a documentary, and then you immediately laid into the idea, like viciously. for all the reasons maybe I would have even said, but you just came out and said it. And you were like, I don't know if I should be talking about this. Maybe my mom will text me and stop me. Like it's a game. Like it's a game or something. And then you proceeded to talk about it. And the more you talked about it, Adam, the more you alluded to me. Especially when you got to the part where you're like, and then he said, we can do this together, bro. I saw your live stream comments. Josh, ew, Josh, ew, really? That's disgusting. Josh, oh my God, that's gross. Josh. You know what you were doing. You know exactly what you were doing. And what did I do in response to that? I wrote a very thought out message to you and I put it as a comment. And then I sent that message over to your DM because I don't know where you're going to see it because you don't respond to me. You don't look at me, my stuff. Because apparently you saw that I wrote to you. You saw that I reached out to you. And then you chose not to respond, chose not to engage, and just chose to have a massive negative opinion and then broadcast it. Not only in the stream, but then on the post. You posted it. And I didn't understand what was going on. Because I'm like, Adam and I have been cool. Adam and I have been chill. And why is he showing so much hostility, so much anger, so much vitriol? It shocked me. It really, truly shocked me. I left that message, which I will read, by the way, because I think a lot of times you like to rewrite history like someone else I know. Because I saw the video that you posted the next day where you mentioned this comment, Adam, and you were like, and then Josh had the balls to come and say this stuff about me and point fingers and da 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 da. And then he was like, oh man, I'm really gonna go in like you don't even know what I'm holding back. Why are you doing that? Why? We've been fine with each other. Why are you doing that? And you triple down, you double triple down. You start to talk about the people that are involved and how despicable the reasoning would be for someone to do that, alluded to that type of thing. And you know damn well, Adam, that the people that were included so far, just having conversations, no one has signed on, was my wife and people very, very, very close to me that are not like public people. So you were talking directly about my crew publicly after I thought we were cool for 6 years. I was wrong. I want to read that comment, by the way. I'll put it on the screen. Adam, I just watched this and honestly, I'm really disappointed by the way you chose to approach this whole thing. You know damn well people knew exactly who you were talking about. You presented the entire documentary situation with a lot of anger and certainty, despite not having the full context, and then encouraged a negative reaction from your audience. What makes it even more frustrating is that I genuinely wanted to talk with you about it beforehand and get your perspective. I reached out and you never responded. If you had, you know I have plenty of doubts and concerns myself. Yes, I was excited about the possibility of this becoming something positive, but nothing is finalized, and I've never treated it as a done deal. What bothers me most is that this could have been a conversation. I mean, you could have simply replied and said, I think this is a terrible idea. You're very honest. You speak your opinion all the time. You could have told me that because we had built up that rapport. And I would have listened because I respect you and value your opinion. Instead, we are here again. I'm asking you directly. Please respond to me. Talk to me, not about me. Bro, you don't know why I would throw bro in there. You're not paying attention. Edit to add. This is when I started noticing that you were not letting up. You were going in. I said, you're literally making content about them right now with thousands of people watching, but tell others not to. How dare they potentially make a doc? And then proceeds to make more videos about the same thing. Is it only okay for you? I guess. To have such a confident take without even speaking to them. Wow. Getting sloppy. I'm appalled at you, brother. That's what I said. And then in the very next video, you doubled down again. And what did you do this time, Adam? You brought my wife into it, who has never once deserved any ounce of negativity from anyone, from this fandom, from the fandom before. For you to bring her into it, it showed me something, that I had been wrong about you. And something snapped in me when that happened. I remember like this anxiety wave hitting me, thinking like, it's happening again. I see his comments. I see them coming after me. It's 2026. How in the world is this happening again? Why is he conducting all of this when it could have just been a conversation? I fell to my knees, sobbing. I don't cry often, especially since my dad died. And the sounds that came out of me while I was on the floor, hands, knees, I've never heard those sounds come out of my body. I don't know if it was, well, I do know what it was. Pamela was there, holding on, crying. And all I kept saying was, I can't do this again. I can't do this again. I can't make it this time. I won't make it this time. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve this, Pamela. And eventually, the sobs stopped. The feeling slowly dissipated. And a few hours later, something happened that I wasn't expecting. That has never happened in my entire life. I realized that you didn't break me. That moment was not like the end, or I've hit rock bottom, which I have been to so many times. I realized I'm free. You can say that's corny, right? You freed me because there was a part of me that still hoped for the goodness in you, for the goodness in people, and you deciding to make content rather than just communicate like an adult. You decided to make content, make money, which is what you've always done. Then I tell you, no, this is awkward. I'll see you at VidCon. Sunflower, bro. Still got to see each other. We're going to run into each other, man. And then what do? Shocker. You made more content saying that I threatened you. So now that we're onto this subject, I'd like to paint a picture for you. This is for everyone. This isn't actually to you, Adam. This is to everyone. Follow along with me now. Let's go and look at the facts. Up until about a handful of days ago, I have never been cross with Adam. I've never bullied Adam. I've never said ill things about Adam. I've never, championed a hate campaign against Adam. I've never, celebrated as I saw his depression getting worse. I never took that as like a success that, I had accomplished causing depression in a stranger. I have never done any of those things. But Adam, you have. You have. You've done those things. 10 years. Not me. I've never been in a fight. Ow. I don't have the control that you do. You have a big following. They're engaged. They really care about your content, care about you. You have so much power. You have so much control. And I don't have that power. I don't. The only power I have is over you. I knew you were going to make content out of that. I knew you were going to be dramatic. I knew you were going to be hateful, spiteful. I knew you were going to use it. And then I also knew that communities just like you were going to pick the story up too. You make parasocial clout garbage. That's all you make. I feel foolish, but you got to learn sometime. I feel foolish because why would I think that the 12-year-old that bullied me relentlessly grew up to be a good person when it comes to me, at least? You didn't change who you were. You just changed your costume. Because what your content really exists within is petty drama, opinions, gossip, he said, she said, tabloid stuff. You went from bullying to basically being like what, Perez Hilton, modern day. When you were 12, you were leading an army of other young people to rip down the confidence and self-worth of a stranger because the monster that you served wanted you to. When I was 12, I was playing baseball. Terribly. I wasn't good. I was playing baseball, watching X-Men cartoons. We're different, Adam. We've always been different. And I have always tried to see the good in people. And you have taught me to stop doing that. That moment when I was on the floor, you taught me to stop caring. You see, Adam, you almost had me. You were so close. I've been so close to the edge so many times, more and more as time has gone on, darker and darker. I've been to the edge. And Adam, you didn't win. What I am going to do is have fun. The way I see it, you have made thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars off of me, my face, my name, my story, my trauma that you played a part in, my brother. You've made so much money. And then you said, leave me alone, Joshua David Evans. Leave Brittany alone. Leave me alone, Joshua David Evans. And my response to that, Adam, is okay, I'll leave you alone once I'm done responding to every single thing you've ever said about me. And as for people on Reddit and in the comments and fans of Adam and other drama channels, I want you to know that my Instagram story was for you. I knew you would think I was spiraling. I knew you would think maybe I was drinking again. Reddit, sober, by the way. No alcohol for me. I just decided, let's have some fun. This won't seep into your heads for like 99% of you, but I'm going to say it anyway. The more you leave comments on my page and on Reddit and pick me apart, analyze me, say you're disappointed in me, say that I'm embarrassing, say that I'm too old, say all the things. All of you that spend all of that time, all of that energy towards me, I want you to know that now, because of what Adam did truly, and I do mean this, it is so validating to see negative comments from you guys. It's freeing. He is like the monster, the parasocial gossip content monster guy. And you are the little dementors who wait for instructions on who to be upset at, who to go hate on, who to rally behind. You spend so much time valuing that stuff, valuing bullying behavior, gossip stuff, things that have no merit, while the world is insanely destructive, sad, heartbreaking. It always has been, but now, with everything that's happening, with everything that is happening right now, you guys are doing that with your time. And I want you to know that when you do it, it makes me happy because to me, it's validating. To me, it's like saying, Hey, that group of Trump supporters over there, I just heard they do not have a good opinion about you. I'd be like, hell yeah. Why would I want them to see highly, like, why would I want them to view me in a good light? I don't respect them. They don't value the things I value. So they wouldn't value the humanity in me. So your comments and you analyzing me, it's time to get paid. A lot of you will hear this and you're still going to do it. You're still going to say stuff. You're still going to huff and puff and make your comments, make your reaction videos, go on long spiels. I've read big things. I'm like, ooh, all because of Adam and his immature way of handling something. That wasn't even a final thing. And sometimes in life, rather than saying, oh, the cards you dealt me, that's not fair. I don't want to play this game. Arrgh. You dealt me a really crappy hand, man. And now I'm going to play with those cards. The difference is, though, I'm not going to play like you. So how does this all end? To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know. I have tried to control so many things in my life. I've cared so much about what everyone thinks. If they believe me, if they value me, if they see my intentions. To live a life without needing those things is new for me. So, I hope you can find that too. So you can't chew on that, buddy. My mama gave that to me. Alright, everyone. I don't have an outro because this ain't a performance. It's about time to clean the litter boxes anyway. So, alrighty. I've had a lot of time to think since yesterday, and I'm just going to come out and say it. Adam McIntyre, I owe you a big apology. You know, I took a step back, reflected on myself and the whole situation, and I saw how you were talking about it, how you were covering it from the very beginning, and then how you're covering it now, especially how you're covering it now. And I realized I was so wrong about you and the people that enjoy your content. You have handled this with nothing but class, humility, and kindness. I can tell that everything that you do is rooted in genuinely wanting a positive outcome, and that you have good intent. And I don't know why I didn't see it before. Like, if I look at your content, the type of things that you fixate on and that you cover and you talk about, man, like, your heart is in the right place. Like, the things that you talk about truly matter in this world. Like, when I'm thinking about everything else that's going on in the world, and then I was like saying, oh, you know, you guys focus on the wrong things. You know, I went back and I looked at your content and I looked at the type of opinions you have, and especially about this, and I was like, that's it right there. I need to think more like Adam and how he perceives this situation. And I was wrong. You guys that follow him are so emotionally intelligent. It's so obvious how you think for yourselves. You fully understand the situation that you're talking about. And that you guys are also rooted in, I don't know, that kind of source of like goodness. I can see it in every comment, every Reddit post. So Adam, I just want to say, like, I'm sorry, man. I had Adam all wrong. He's telling this information and twisting it in a way that is so healthy and is so forthcoming of the purity of his soul and like how he wants this to all come about. It's oh, and the point that you made that we were never that close and that like I took that the wrong way. God, you're so right. I did. I took that the wrong way. I took you inviting me and Swoop over to spend time with you and your mom for hours. I received that as like we were on like cordial terms, that like if you reached out to me, I'd respond. You know, if I reached out to you, you would respond. I think I just took it and like
I don't know. It's like, oh my God, we had a good night and got really, you know, personal about all of our lives. I just took it the wrong way, man. I just took that as like, I don't know, like we could talk, and that was really lame of me. Cringy of me to do that. So every single thing that I'm seeing that you say just kind of like repositions my mind to go, dang, Josh was wrong. Adam's perspective is the only perspective that truly should be heard and absorbed, because clearly he, out of this equation, he is the one rooted in such a humble nature compared to me and everyone else that, like, I bow down to you, man. Wow. So I'm so sorry, Adam, genuinely, and I hope you know that. So my heart goes out to you and all of your amazing fans. And down below, I know you're gonna be like, you're gonna be doing what you've always been doing, proving me wrong and like filling the comment section up with love, positivity, awareness. Like, you're so self-aware. So just thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for showing me the truth. It's a great day. Things are really looking up. Au revoir.
Before this starts, I just want to say that I don't expect anybody to value me or what I'm about to say. I don't expect anyone to listen to me, truly. Regardless of that, this is my personal experience, and I've chosen to share it anyway, despite what the internet is telling me to do right now. So, May 14th, 3:21 p.m. You can pause this if you want to read the whole thing. As you can see in the corner there on the top right, I received this on May 14th, and it's just your basic kind of intro email. It's really similar to the one I'm sure you've already seen. They went on to say they found my interview and they wanted to talk to me. They wanted to get the story right. I mean, they were saying all the things that I wanted to hear at the time. May 15th, 12:34 a.m. And once again, if you want to pause, this is my long-winded response to them. I get very, very personal very quickly to communicate that this is very serious to me. I don't take this request lightly. It's scary. I'm in a dark place, or I've been in a dark place, and something like this is very terrifying for me to even consider. So if I'm gonna hop on the phone, this is a big deal. I'm willing to do it. Yeah, again, pause this if you want to see the whole thing. And if you hear cats meowing, I have a lot of cats that live at the house now. What happened right after all of that? Before I say anything else, I need to explain where my head was at when all this started. Last year, my dad died while we weren't on speaking terms. It shut me down and changed me in ways I still can't explain. I spent the better part of a year isolating myself from 98% of everyone in my life. No calls, no texts, no hangouts. I hated my existence and didn't have the energy to pretend in front of anyone anymore. Back in February, that isolation and headspace led to a plan. That plan was going to end with me not existing the following day. But someone stepped in that morning at work and changed the course of my life. He saw a man that was about to leave this earth, and he wasn't going to let that happen. Now, I won't share his name because that's incredibly personal, and he knows exactly who he is. Thank you, by the way. So when this documentary opportunity came along, I personally saw it as hope. After a few calls with the documentary team, I trusted them. They came across as thoughtful, compassionate people, hey Shadow, who wanted to tell a bigger story about fandoms and the people affected by them. At the time, Adam and I had been cordial for years. Cordial. I knew one of the journalists had already messaged him, but she hadn't heard back.
That's all I knew. So I reached out myself. Looking back, I can absolutely see how aggressive and overwhelming that message ended up being. What I didn't know was that they had already tried contacting him multiple times before I ever sent that DM. That matters because I've never been upset that Adam didn't want to do the documentary. Not once. I've never said it in writing or out loud. I've never thought it anywhere. What disappointed me was his public response. That being said, within 48 hours of seeing Adam's original video about it, I started looking deeper into the project and the people connected to it. That's when I discovered they were following Johnny. Given my history with him, that immediately raised red flags, so I scheduled a call and asked a straightforward question. If I was going to trust these people with my story, was there any chance he would be involved? Instead, I was told, and this is a quote, "I find it interesting that you have such a negative and extreme reaction to Johnny when you were involved with the Ballinger family itself." That response stunned me. She was questioning why someone who aggressively and publicly defamed me in front of millions would cause such a reaction out of me. I was asking why they would even consider letting him have any involvement in a project I was being asked to trust. They wouldn't confirm it. They wouldn't deny it. They told me I needed to trust the process. I confronted them and it did not go well. So on June 8th, I ended my involvement completely. I've never given them anything on record, and I haven't spoken to them since. Something else that stood out to me, they had Pamela's contact information the entire time. They knew she had lived through much of this with me, yet nobody ever reached out to hear her perspective. Shocker. For a project that claimed to care about the human impact of these events, that felt strange. So by the late afternoon of June 8th, the trust I had with them was gone. I ended everything. It was a big confrontation, not only on the phone, but through email, back and forth, through text. All of them doubled down. They would not confirm or deny. They didn't like that I got upset and raised my voice, because I was panicking that they would consider Johnny. They wouldn't at least say, "Yeah, man, don't worry. We would not put you through that." I thought that was a little thing to ask, but I understand now that I'm wrong. When you finally push back, when someone says you're important and you say, okay, so I want this one thing though, and then their first thing is, "Nope, you were never important." I don't think that ask was too crazy. But what do I know? Regardless of all of that, I know I'm not perfect. I've been emotional. I've said things out of frustration. But as far as this documentary goes, I'm out. I've been out since the 8th. I've given them nothing on the record, and I want no part of it. And for all the parts that I played in adding to the anxiety, chaos, and anger of this whole situation, I'm sorry. My intentions were good, even if the outcome wasn't.